Good afternoon, viewer. We are, of course, in the house already for a weekend edition of Mr. Taima Saturday. It is at 2 to 3. We are already in the house of our best families. Of course, the region has doing what we know how to do best.
Okay, now let's start with a very big story that has come through from the side. Yesterday I said it's rumorly, but I've tried finding out. It looks a little bit true now about Arua Hill that will be, of course, taking Doch or one big thing that I was talking about that will be coming right through. The deal is almost getting done. Paperwork and the rest will be getting done. So that has given us a question of how this pushes in there. And Arua Hill Sports Club has a lot to talk about right about now because they have tried achieving what they wanted, but they've failed in achieving it. I'm not yet certain of how much the club is going to be sold because it's one big question that one has been asking. But all in all, there is that question of how and where is the team going and how is the team going, because there was a statement by the Federation of Uganda Football Association where, of course, when you buy a club, you're not supposed to make sure that this club crosses away from where it is. But for this case, is it because it's a lower, let's say it's a regional thing that is there, that's why the club can remain, because that's northern Uganda, part of it, and here you have the Acholi sub-region and West Nile. I think there you're taking the club already away from here. I will want to ask this question because one big thing is if you look at Engineer Moses Magogo, who will be, by the way, in Arua, who is already in Arua and will be around tomorrow. We shall be having some exclusive with him and trying to find out what exactly he has for this. But all in all, what do you see? What do you take about Arua Hill, probably who may not be able to be in Arua City?
I think for the fact that they have said, initially it used to be that a club cannot be moved away to possibly a region where it could have been created from. I am looking at northern region as a whole because if you look at the Acholi sub-region in West Nile as it is, the club still remains in north, so it has not changed region. Maybe it has changed districts, I would say, or cities, I would say. But then this is one information that we recently got the other day after, of course, last season getting to a close-up. We did start hearing information or getting information about Arua Hill saying that they were behind the curtain meetings ongoing. There were stakeholders meetings going on here and there, trying to see to it that the club was reinstated and brought back to the usual perspectives where it used to be. But then somehow it also went on a low. We could not hear anything. Of course, any information that was coming through from that very camp. And then recently, I think about 2 days ago, we woke up to the shock of one sports personality, the other side of the region, there is in Gulu, who literally said that Credo Primary and Nursery, of course, was already completing talks to get to the ownership or acquiring the Hill Soccer Club. I really don't know now if the name is going to remain or they're going to change the name because now after the successful or acquirement of this, it will move away from Arua. So basically, I think about the region, it still remains in the same northern region. But then this is quite a very big blow to the people of Arua. Initially, this was the only club that, of course, was representing us in UPL. They didn't finish. They only were able to sustain themselves there for, I think, one round of a full season. And then they were thrown back and said, go and prepare for there is a big league next season. And then this somehow, we're hearing good stories that they're going to come back and all that. And then now that very, very news, it could be a good one for the people of Gulu and Lira the other side. But to us in Arua, it's quite a very big blow and a huge one.
Yeah, it's a very big one, of course, not only Arua, of course, the entire West Nile, because Arua Hill had really raised also some numbers of visiting West Nile. Remember, if you come this side, you see the pearl of West Nile, I should say, because you see the beauty, the sceneries of West Nile, every other thing that keep coming from West Nile, of course, all the way from the Bakwachi Bridge and a lot of exciting adventure that has always been here. But if it doesn't go the way expected, then you're going to be having the challenges that probably may not be what is expected out of you, because a lot is being needed from such clubs. And Arua Hill, if truly they will be moving off guards, then I should say there's going to be a lot that is affecting West Nile region. And why should you even accept this happen in our region? I feel it's because we are not together. There's no togetherness in West Nile, which affects us. Every other person, their heart is, this is my club, this is what I need to do.
Selfish.
But just imagine club owners sit down and set up something like this. Guys, how have you been in this for all these years? How have you go and get the knowledge of football from each other? Then I believe this would be. We saw you will never want to see even a worker from Calvary wanting to talk to a worker from Onduparaka Football Club, a worker from Arua Hill not wanting to associate with Onduparaka. These are just football things. At last you have a way to live after football. There's a life beyond football that you have to live. So I believe it is a challenge that is so much disturbing. It's so dangerous that teams can't even afford and manage themselves. Look at the fan base. Most of the times the same region shares the same fans, and you're going to be here. What about when Arua Hill is playing the other side? You have all the fans of Arua Hill go support, and then the other side, if you have Onduparaka, you have the whole fans of Onduparaka also coming to support. How will that be? How would that look? That's one big thing that for me, I would love to see. But all in all, it's a big thing, and we really need to look into how we make sure things go the way you needed. We make sure that things go the way other people expected them to push, and those are some of the things that probably can add a lot of design into, that is, the sports or the football right there. Leave alone that even a regional league team, regional leagues teams also fight each other. Even the 4th division leagues, you already have that bickering. Yes, sometimes it's positive. It builds in, brings in the right thing. But what about thinking about the region? Now, this, I still repeat myself. I think West Nile needs a symposium, football symposium, that will handle or teach or give people to know about what exactly is happening. That is one. That will also come and teach people about football. The knowledge of football is key. I've come to find out that most people who enter in football don't have the knowledge to manage football, and which is dragging very many clubs behind, which is dragging very many regions behind. Not only, let's say, the top tiers, but also these other tiers of, let's say, the lower league and the rest. It is still affecting, and that's the reason why West Nile is dropping. We don't have now a team that is representing in the Super Cup, the Super League, the Star Times Uganda Premier League. We have big league, we have regional leagues, and that is one big thing. So I want to say it's so challenging that things come the way you see, but we really want to focus and make sure that it is going to be one of the biggest outreaches that can come, and of course have the best moment with the different stakeholders that have also meant to see that things work in there. But togetherness is key. Give people where they are supposed to belong. Let no one cross the other, and that's when teams will. When Arua Hill almost, when they were sent off, we saw new members coming, a lady who came in as a CEO. We saw Tak Hoa being the president of the team. Probably we can say he owns the team. But what exactly does he have is the question. How much does he have to make sure that this team runs? What does he have to sustain the team? What involvement does he have with the people of West Nile, with the people of Arua, where this club is supposed to be? Now, we kept asking ourselves about where are they going to even play, because the stadium, Arua Hill, is incomplete. Barifa was vandalized. Which other place? I don't think they would go to Greenlight because they would have that ego. So sometimes it's all about swallowing the pride and you are good to go. Others were like Leju, but how many people would go and watch the game? So those are some of the things that I'm talking about. But all in all, I believe to me it's a bad one that Arua Hill, in case it's true, that will be crossing over to Gulu. I think it's going to be a challenge. And then obviously, for again Arua Hill to reach Gulu, and then they will have to change the name so that the people there can feel it's their thing. Then again, you're going there, it's still a Arua Hill Football Club. It's not going to make sense. People will even the fans will not be like, this is our thing. Even if after the name is changed, I don't think it's going to be like, it's their club. So what I just want to say is, in case such thing happens, you need to take it like, this is your club. And if that is the case, you are only also not, you may only be buying the club sport where it is. But you can do your own recruitment. You can add in, because there are players that are there. Right now, people are doing signings. So if that is the case, how are you going to do your business? How are you going to do signings and work out? So I want to say it's a very challenging one. I feel bad for that. But it has happened, or it will happen. I don't know. Because the story already broke up. I've trying at least the closest sources from Arua Hill Sports Club. I've also tried finding out. It's true that's what is happening. So very, very challenging. It's very challenging.
Very challenging it is. You've actually given us a very huge in-depth analysis over both the positives and the challenges of Arua Hill shifting to there is a good in the ownership of a Credo primary and nursery school, if at all the information will be true, because apparently all we know is that these are yet rumors. Arua Hill itself has not come to, of course, have not come to say this is correct and all that. And then also from the other side, the other source where we got this information from seems to be very authentic. So basically, just like you have said, one, first of all, to me, I think this is going to kill in the pride of West Nile, because literally we knew that in West Nile we're going to be having, there is 3 teams representing in Big League. There was supposed to be Calvary, the new entrance by the Black Angels, Arua Hill, and then which one is the fourth one? West Nile?
There's Arua Hill, there's Onduparaka, there's Calvary, and Arua Hill, yes, and Paida.
And Paida, yeah. 4 teams are representing in West Nile. But then, somehow we became excited because we were getting news that they were already doing underground meetings to see to it that the team returns, and then they were looking for a playground. At one time, we discussed Arua Primary that they needed to use, and then at another time, we had the rumors that they were supposed to use Leju Stadium, and then at another, and then we also wake up to that very news. But West Time Desk is on the ground. We are basically trying to gather in information to see how true this is, how authentic this really turns out to be. And if it is true, just like you had said, it's going to take in some time. I know we are not supposed to be preaching this. We are supposed to be preaching peace. We're supposed to be preaching togetherness. We're supposed to be preaching love in there. But I know it's going to take some time, because you literally know how hard it is for the people of the other side to adopt to anything coming from this way. But then I see for us, it's quite very easy for us to adopt to things that come from any region. I'm trying to look at a point you discussed about the people the other side adopting to Arua Hill itself as the club. Even if the name is changed, they will still have that mindset that this is something from Arua, this is something for the Lubaras and all that. So basically, for this club to pick up, even if the name is changed, even if they bring in people within the community where it's going to be situated at to work in, trust me, it's going to be very hard for people there to adopt, because we've dealt with people from that side. It's hard for them to adopt. They are, sorry to say this, they are not flexible, yeah? It's rather other regions that are very flexible and welcoming to the things that come from the region. But people that side, it's going to take some time for Arua Hill to settle. It's going to take some time for Arua Hill to gather funds from that side. First of all, fans from that side are very passionate about the clubs that are within their region. So where will Arua Hill get funds from within there? Which clubs will? Maybe Young Elephants, because they will no longer be in Big League.
Of course, things need to change. That mindset of adaptation should be changed, and they should be knowing that yes, it's someone who their own, who probably, in case it's true, has bought the club, and that will be helping them a lot in very different ways. Two, I think we've seen up to now, Blacks Power, their fans are not there in Lira, not as expected than the ones in Bukedia by then, just because it is very hard convincing that is the team to make sure that all the people to support their own club. You will see, you go to, that is Lira Memorial Grounds, and you will see that no, it is not working out. The numbers, even at the time we went there, even the opposite side turned to be, in fact, they turned to support the opposite side, and yet they have their own club lacks power. Now, those are some of the things that we are looking into. But at the same time, I also want to say that changing name, yes, is going to be a very big one. I would love to ask, in case this deal goes through and it's true, that means the team of all the people from Gulu should welcome this team and make sure that they give it support like before, because a place like Peche is having nobody, no club to play, because Gulu City has failed to make sure that they have a club that should. We saw the Northern Gateway recently, but they couldn't also push. So out of all that, football is just not about you playing and having that, but you need to invest. So is the new, maybe the new persons also going to be able to invest in the team is also another question that will be coming right there. But I think for the deal, it's a very good one. It's one big moment that you will be loving to see from such a team, and all other stakeholders would also have to be involved in there. But I believe, again, if you get that team, can you involve in the community because you've bought it? Call them, talk to them, and see how they have their set, how they got. Because if you will not involve the team and say, this is my team because I bought it, then you are doomed to fail the business of football. And two, who are those people who are going to manage? Who are those people you're going to employ? Who are those people? Are we going to see that the people from the former Arua Hill still remaining to run it, and then you get maybe more people later on? That's also another question. Who is the coach? Because club licensing period is getting done. By 15th, you should have submitted every document, and then the second phase should be having everything. So those are some of the things for me I would love to say about Arua Hill, but as really, it's a challenge, very big one for West Nile. If this happens to be the reality, we are going to be losing a lot. Number two, the luckiest player I should talk about has also crossed over. Alfred Leku is now a police football club, Kenya Police Football Club player. He joins the likes of Toha Rashid. I remember on one of the videos they sent me, Toha and him were already boarding a plane to go that side, and yeah, indeed they started trading. Leku is doing very well that side. Toha is also doing well, and now he is the new entrant in there. Remember, he cancelled his contract in the recent days, and then of course came back to Uganda and got that deal with the Kenya. Very good, very nice, but he started, I should say, Leku started football when he was an adult here at Maracha. Primary, no? And in Maracha even he was a bench material. Okay. But he got a luck and has gotten to, when he got to Arua Hill, I remember Charles Livingston Babas saying this one is not there in his plan. And Coach Borini had to convince Mbabazi, telling him this player you see here is he has lack of scoring. Now this player you see here, one day will be the player to sell, to save your job. And indeed, like when he came in, by then the CEO was Afeti Tony, tabled 5 million Ugandan shillings. Said you either take it or leave it because you were not supposed to be there. Leku had to fall in tears. But he got the money and said he needed to prove himself. He only signed for a season, 1 year, and the year elapsed. You saw when he banged a couple of goals for Arua Hill. He was the savior for Arua Hill. At last, what happened? What happened is that Arua Hill now needed to extend his contract. But Arua Hill wanting to extend his contract means that Leku now had every other right to say, no, I need this. Didn't they look for him? But it was too late. He got a juicy deal and had to cross over. So that is the man now. That's what I'm saying is lucky. From there he has gone, now in Kenya. What do you say about Alfred Leku?
I think what you've said is quite touching, and you know, with all the issues that he has gone through, I mean, what you've talked about and all that, it's quite very painful, and he now, I think, gets to yield the fruits over the people that trusted him. Possibly he attributes his success and where he is right now to there is Ahmed Borini in there. So basically, I think it's quite a very good one, and his journey has been very tremendous. He has always achieved positives, just like you said. He has had luck in scoring goals here and there. We've seen he didn't settle quite so much at Arua Hill. We did see him cross the other side, I think, into there is Zambia, into the Premier League and all that, and then we did see him come back into the country. He went silent, although we're hearing rumors of him being a GRA, him being where and all that. But now, if he gets to again also leave the country and across to the other side, I think it's quite a very good one. And to me, trust me, he's literally also going to shine in there, because Leku is one guy that has always moved, or he's one guy that has always crossed borders, and his name still remains. He still gets news surrounding his name and all that. Unlike other players that are literally go out there and it's a dead silence about them. You look for information in vain, but you keep hearing what the club is doing. You keep hearing the club is achieving things and all that. But then the particular player that actually got to cross the other side, it's very dead silent about him. But for Leku, it's not that case. Anywhere he goes, he literally keeps news surrounding his name and all that. And I think I'm getting to meet up with the former players, just the one you just talked about, the Toa Rashids and all that. I think it's quite a very good one. It helps you feel at home. It helps you get acquainted so fast. It helps you actually get into work very fast. You don't have that phobia for yet missing home. You don't need that a lot of time to get to know players and all that. No, you already have a brother there. So literally, it's quite a very good move for him.
Yeah. I should also credit should go to Toha, because we were here in a show with him. He did confirm that he is one player that he has connected. Was again one player from Arua, I think it's like already in Uganda, that he has connected. I remember him connecting Tito Kello, and Tito Kello has now left the Kenyan side and is going to Indonesia, according to what I've heard. That means Alfred Leku will have to fit in the shoes of Tito Okello, with the void that he's living in there with the Kenyan side. So he's soon signing papers, but he is already training with the team and trying to find ways of how he can get in there, because of one or two things that you are seeing from Alfred Leku. So we're expecting a very, very interesting moment with the Leku from the Kenyan side. They are going to be playing by the end the CAF Games Champions League. So that means these stars will have to show to the world how exactly, because I remember that goal converted by the man by the name of Toa Rashid in their final to see that they qualify to the CAF Confederation. I mean the CAF. Yes, it's going to be a very big one for him. But I think I wish him the best, because he is one player who will never waste that chance that is being given to him. Energetic, of course, superb. He may not have that ball control you want. Yeah, that's what I know with him. But he's physically okay. He's energetic, and he can run with the ball, and he has powerful strike that he can make for you to see that things go right there. Now, another player right now I'm talking about is the former Arua Hill Sports Club striker who has also crossed over to Maroons, and this time round it is Omira Ambe who has crossed over to the Maroons Football Club, a striker. And of course, he will have to fight for a place with Ibrahim Dadaz and the rest of the players in the team right there. What do you see for him after leaving Arua Hill Sports Club?
Omirambe, I think it's quite a very good one for him, and he's this prolific player that actually knows what he wants. He's this kind of player that actually goes into the pitch, and when he comes in as a substitute, you literally see him changing things. You see the style of play changing and all that, if particularly it was a dull one. But just like you had said, we pray that he actually gets a playing time down at Maroons, because Maroons is one side that has been among the most active clubs that is actually obtaining in players to fit in the various spaces that most of their key players did leave. And Maroons is also one side. Would think that Omirambe is going to be fighting, or is going to be needing to work so hard to acquire in playing time. But Maroons has also lost in a couple of players. So basically, I think he will fit in there so well. And unless otherwise, the rest of the people that are already there are going to be quite a very perfect match for there is Omirambe in there. And it's quite a very good add-on to his CV.
That's a very good one. We're waiting to see how exactly this works out. But at the same time, I can tell you that Arua, Soltilo Bright Stars I'm talking about Joseph Janjali, has also left the club, and he has made his move to the Forces. And this time round, it is at UPDF in Bombo, and he will be right there. Remember, a couple of names are being linked away from UPDF, and others were released. Now, this man, Joseph Janjali, he is being a proven one at Soltilo Bright Stars. And Bright Stars looking forward to see that they get more players also in their books. But this time, UPDF wants to strategize things, and could this be a good move for Janjali?
It could be because look at his former club, and then currently where he is or he will be playing at. There is a UPDF. UPDF, I think, is one club that we all know. If you did follow them last season, you'd literally get to understand that they are a club that didn't actually have a very good run. That was last season. So I think they're trying to strategize, just like you had said. They already got into the drawing board and found out exactly where the loopholes were for last season that didn't see things working out for them. So adding up to players like Janjali and all that, I think it's quite a very good one for there is both UPDF and also for there is the player himself. And by the way, another story that I got was over Paul Muchirezi now being a NEC football club.
Yeah, he has agreed terms, personal terms, and the rest, of course, signs a deal with the team, and he will be right there for that season yet again to see that he gets there. But he had an outstanding performance with Mbarara, crossing over to Chitara. He stayed there like 3 seasons. Of course, now getting away from there means a very interesting one for him because he has to deliver. He's not yet tired, but he says he needs to make sure that he achieves what exactly is needed out of him. So that's one big thing that I can tell you about Paul Muchirezi, who is right. Of course, he has been a free agent after his contract elapsed at the team of Chitara Football Club. Now, those are some of the big talking points in the first half of this show. And I can tell you, we are taking a break. When we come back, we shall be coming back to discuss more over the international and some of the